why not let somebody in their 20s on a well-paid corporate job just throw all that in to go and do a HMO?
I would say for people looking, or I guess who are more ambitious and maybe have come across that, like, look, the corporate world isn't going to get them the earnings they want. That's what happened to me. Like I funny enough, didn't go into corporate world looking at what's my earning potential for some strange reason. I got it all figured out, going to uni, come out, get a good paying job. And then I said, okay, how do I get to like 200 grand, like 300 grand a year in earnings? Like, how does that look like as a career path? And that's what spurred me to kind of saying, okay, maybe this vehicle isn't great. It's got me good. So I was earning about 60 grand.
Yeah.
Like towards the end of it. But I started at 40 grand and I kind of grew that over a period of 5 years. But the thing was, for me to try and get to 200 grand a year, because I've always had this ambition of making money young and being wealthy young. And only realizing that like this project manager role isn't going to get me there anytime soon. I would have to have 10 years, maybe go to other companies, have different experiences at other companies, to come back and maybe get to like a director role. Still, even that's a long.
What point did you realize that actually 200 grand is just not going to be realistic to achieve, or 300 grand in a salary in any reasonable time frame?
So funny enough, this is relatively earlier in my career. So like year one, I'm buzzing. I've left uni. I've got 40K starting. I'm like, this is amazing. Like,
spending 50 that year.
And actually, I was always, credit to myself, like I'll say, I've always been good with money.
That's good.
So I was actually saving like a lot of it. Like I kept my expenditure at the time for like a grand a month.
Okay.
I mean, like and I wasn't like lavish. I didn't go start buying new things and watches and clothes, and I don't really spend money on that kind of stuff. So I was really just about saving about 2 grand a month. Like I was just save. So then you were obviously coming out of uni and earn that level of money. I did want to spend some of it, and for me that was going on holidays. I loved traveling. I like the idea of traveling. So I would do like four trips a year. Like for me, 4 trips a year is mandatory. So that's what I kind of used my money towards. And after doing that for a year, I was like, okay, great, I'm settled in. I've been doing this for a year now. Like, okay, now let's level this up. How do we earn more money? Because I've always been thinking, how can I earn more? How can I earn more? Whether it's in the current role, or even outside externally, how can I earn more as well? So it's only then started to do my research after working hours and stuff, and so I realized, okay, damn, this is going to be a long play. I'm going to try and see. So literally end of year one, I'd say, is when I start to recognize that this wasn't a vehicle. So then I actually remember calling my friends to say, look, guys, it's been a year now. We're all working like what's your thoughts? Like, I'm trying to make some serious money. How do we do this? What's the plan? Because clearly our corporate jobs aren't going to get us to 200 grand a year. It's just the way it will, but it's 10, 15 years.
It's a long play.
And it's like, I can't invest 15 years to try and see only 200 grand when I know there's people out there earning 200 grand a month, for example. So a friend of mine, his girlfriend at the time came off of the whole Robert Kiyosaki. He had a property seminar.
Yeah.
So for me at uni, that was always my vehicle, like my retirement vehicle. I'd buy a few houses over the period of career, and then that would become my retirement pool where I have income coming from the rent.
You were thinking about property.
Yeah.
But they just hadn't started anything.
Yeah, I didn't think of it as a business, just kind of thought as, you save some money, you buy one, and that was 2 years later, you save some more money, you buy another one, and then by the time you finish career, you've got like 10, brings like grand a month for each property, for example, and then that's 10 grand retirement. I thought that was enough. Once upon a time, Alfred thought 60 grand was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like I thought I'd make 60 grand a year, and I've made it like this life would be, and I promise you guys, 60 grand is not even scratch the surface. On me alone, my damn kids, the missus, taking the places like traveling, like an average family holiday is a good family holiday for my son, maybe. In my opinion, it's 10 grand easily. So I love traveling, and I don't want to limit it to 1 trip a year.
Yeah.
And even if it's 1 trip a year, that's still a lot of money. To spend 10 grand on just a one family vacation, it's insane. If you're only earning 60 grand, for example. So it kind of, I've always aspired to, I need more. How can I make more? What can I do to earn more? What skill sets are required to earn more? And yeah, property was the first thing that kind of came back to me as a way of potentially being able to create more income. But I didn't think of it as a business at the time. Mm-hmm. I just thought, it's just
as an investment.
Yeah, I just still kind of thought, but like I said, buy one here and there, kind of create before the back end. Only when I went to that program is when it got exposed to like, damn, this thing is actually like a business. There's a system to this, a business, a process to this. And I was hooked. So I was like, okay, you sign me up. So I think I did It was a free seminar, 2 hours, get introduction to the basic fundamentals of property investing. Off the back of that, there was a 3-day program, which is like the advanced training. That's also, if you will say, it was an upsell. So yeah, there was an upsell. But that was $1,000.
Yeah.
To be in that room for the 3 days. And again, I'm someone seeing is believing. If I can see something, I can understand what's happening, and I can believe that I can acquire the information and go and implement myself and deliver on it. I'm sold. I'm all in.
So it's your belief on what you're hearing about. Actually, can I take that and do something?
Yes.
Yeah. Can I do that? Is the thing going on in your mind?
Yeah, in my mind always. Can I do that? Can I do that? Can I do that? What information can I gather that boost that? Can I do that? And if I can find that, I'm like running 1,000 miles per hour to make this happen. Basically, is the way I see it. So yeah, I go in the room. I wasn't skeptical. Obviously, they mentioned the price. The price was like in the 20s, so like 24 grand program. It was like over a 2-year period, different courses, mentorships and stuff. So it still sounded insane. Like at the time, hearing that level of investment required to be able to learn and acquire this information. But I looked upon it and look, realistically, 24 grand in the grand scheme of my career, it's not a lot of money. I'm going to spend that money in several ways and shape or forms and stuff that's
interesting. You were thinking about it in that way. Most people will be thinking about that's like after tax. That's probably most of the salary for the year.
Yeah, I think I've always been in a full pro. When I'm thinking about these things, I'm like, what's my ability to be able to earn this money again?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, at the time, I think I was earning maybe 40 something. I was a bit more than 40 at the time, but either way, because it was like year 2, going on to year 2 of my career. So I had a bit of a pay rise since year 1, but I always still looked at it as what's my ability to go and make that money again. And at the time, it was a scary thought because I was literally emptying my bank account. That's the money I had around me to be able to. I was ideally going to use that to buy a property, my home. And I said, you know what, like, let's just take a chance. I spent, another way I qualified in my head is, I spent my uni degree at the time was still at the low end, 3.5. Up to now, $9 grand a year. So I probably all in after kind of accommodation, lectures, all that stuff, probably 30 grand is my debt to student loan.
For your university?
Yeah, degree.
2 degrees, 1 degree?
One, well, it's engineering, we have a B-Eng and M-Eng.
Okay.
So if you did a 3-year, you'd end on a B-Eng, which is a bachelor's, and then if you did a M-Eng, you go for the extra year, 4th year, and then you just get an M-Eng. So it's a Master of Engineering, that's all I have, 1 degree. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I spent 30 grand all in on my uni.
Yes.
Landing me a 40k starting salary job. This is another vehicle whereby I'm going to spend 24 grand and 25 grand all in and make millions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think it's a fair trade-off. Like, I'm going to bet I know I keep telling them I'm betting on myself. I'm betting on my ability to acquire information and go and implement information. That's what I'm betting on.
That's quite an interesting way to look at it. Many people take a different perspective. But what you were doing at that moment in time is thinking, okay, I can see what they're saying is making sense.
Yeah.
I can see other people have done it, and it's, can I do that for me? And my ability to be able to kind of implement that and get that result. And I said, you bet on yourself that actually, yeah, I know I'm capable of that.
Yeah, and also I don't want to downplay it. It was like it was a big deal. Like I am emptying my account to zero. I think
this was literally all your savings today.
Yeah, everything. I think even I had only, so on the day I made a 20. I remember this. I wish I can find a statement payment. I made a 20k payment, and there was a 4k payment I was due, and I needed like a week to kind of get the money together and make the payment. So I didn't even have all the money, but I just still said, you know what, I want to make this happen.
Yes.
Whatever it takes, let's just make it happen. So like I said, obviously you leave them thinking, damn, I just gave all my money away. Like, but it's been a long journey. Like for me, I can say it's worked out, and for me, I guess I knew what I'm capable of if I have the right information. I'm an action taker. I'm gonna go and try and make it work. I know it might not work out the first time. I just keep going and never give up, and that's kind of my attitude with things, and it's how I guess I got to where I am.